What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name is Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll confess to you guys, I've been drinking Baileys the past. I'm not an alcoholic, but it definitely does help the days. I'm only telling you guys this because sometimes I might say stuff which kind of buzzed. Maybe that's why I'm sharing too much information. I'm in this Sundance writing class for I signed up for this class that I applied for, and it's like a Zoom thing I do every week with a bunch of other students, all right? And the teachers are great. That's why I signed up for it, because I took another class through Sundance, and I was really happy with it. But it's interesting for me because I get to work with other students in the class, like share feedback and stuff. And comedy is such a lone wolf profession. I mean, there's so many times I just go to the clubs by myself, hang out by myself. Even like when I do stand-up comedy, I know I'm talking to people, but it's like I'm talking to this one monolithic mass of people. And there's interaction. I'm in like comedy mode. I don't really, share thoughts or ideas. It's not this conversant art form. Years and years ago, as I've said, I was an intern. I was a writer's intern on a show called Spin City. And I used to go in every 3 times a week, and I used to hang out with the writers. And I wasn't that good as a stand-up. I was working the door at a comedy club, but I used to think, man, this is my future profession, is writing with these guys. You ever find something and you're like, man, it fits so fluidly? And I just could see myself as a staff writer for a sitcom, because I could always write jokes really well. I was kind of broy, I was an athlete, and a lot of these guys were just cool dudes, and I just see myself fitting in here and having this, nice profession. But I do remember one day on set, and I was just bored out of my mind. I was delivering scripts, and I was on set, and I saw the actors rehearsing, and I saw the writers off to the side, just waiting around. And I remember thinking, and I was like, man, do I want to be a writer or an actor? I remember thinking that very clearly. And I thought to myself, I want to be the guy who gets credit for his jokes. I remember thinking this when I was 20 years old. And I think from that moment on, I decided, Spin City offered me a job to drop out of school, actually. They were like, hey, our script supervisor left or something. Do you want to, take the job? And I said no, because my mom would have freaked out if I dropped out of school. And then when they went to LA, I'm sure I could have, when I graduated, I could have called them up, the producers who I knew, and I was like, hey, can I get a job? But I decided to stay in New York because something told me, hey, let's see how this stand-up comedy thing plays out. But I had gone to LA sooner and gotten a job in television, I mean, who's to say how my life would be any different? But you have these moments in your life, these roads, and it's interesting for me to look back at these decisions because I really had nothing to base this off of aside from my own intuition of hey, what feels right to me? And even though I was a horrible comedian and I would pretty much bomb every night, I'm telling you, I never lie about how I do. I pretty much would bomb every night, yet for some reason, I thought this would be a better career path. And I wasn't even getting paid barely any money. I started doing Indian shows a few years afterwards when Russell Peters blew up. Sometimes I'll get really frustrated when I hear other comedians who are really famous, and they'll be like, yeah, I just followed a thread and I got pulled along and this led to this. And I'll get mad because I'll be like, man, I followed that thread. Maybe this is the way it's all supposed to be. Maybe I'm too close to the trees and I'm not seeing the bigger picture, because truthfully, the things I'm doing now, writing-wise, it's all because of my stand-up, And I definitely would not have been able to be here in Florida if I had, taken another route. I don't think. Life works out as it's going to work out. That's really all I wanted to share as I finish my Baileys at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care.